our YouTube and our Facebook for Veterans Council Veterans. Here it is. I say, well, as you are not, good morning, good evening. It is even. I'm used to doing something in the morning time, but this time it's even time. So good evening, good evening. It's 7 o'clock. And what we're doing is we're going to celebrate. This is Black History Month. Black History Month. And what we're doing with sponsored by Veterans Council Veterans, Gamma Eta Sigma Phi Beta Sigma, Go Mob, and also NAACP. We have decided we're going to honor African American veterans, and the theme of this is called "Thank You for Your Service, Black Patriots." And some people say, "Well, why are you doing this? You're being divisive. You're being divisive." I said, "No, I'm not. Actually, what I'm doing is first of all, I have two goals. One, that everybody know out there that African Americans, blacks, as well as a lot of other races, are contributing to this country when it comes to war and the sacrifices. The freedom is everybody who's providing that. So I want everybody to know that. And I guarantee you, if I'm not doing it, very good chance nobody else is going to do it. That's the one pace. But secondly, there are of the African American community, especially for Black History Month, I want them to know they can be proud too of veterans, their father, mother's a veteran, and know that they're out there sacrificing. So I'm giving it. This is the twofer, right? This is all good, love. But that's what it's all about. But before I get ahead, my next guest, I have to do the intro. Yes. And this is here again for another edition. And I want to just do a real quick recap on what we did last week. Okay, last Monday we actually had a chance to interview the Aubrey McDade, the Navy Cross rewardee, and people who don't know, the Navy Cross is the highest reward you can get for the Navy or the Marine. And Audrey just happened to be only the second African American to receive this award. The only other one is Dory Miller. So we had him last week. I hope everybody learned a lot what's going on. But tonight, and I'm just excited. I got to mention this real quick. Next Monday, we are going to sit there and have a great conversation with now, unfortunately, Sergeant First Class Alan Cass was posthumously awarded in 2020 the Medal of Honor. And next Monday at this same time, we're going to interview people who are his battle buddies. E6 back then, but now the E9. So we're going to have two E9s, Sergeant Major Martin Celestine and Sergeant Major Fennison. And we'll have his family member, his sister, and Castanel, and also his niece, Erwin. So we're going to have a really great conversation next week, but I want you guys to stay tuned. But what we're here today is we're going to recognize, I've known, since Colonel, and I got this picture here. This picture is kind of embarrassing because it looked like I'm his kid, right? I should have cut it or something. I should have cut the knees off or something. I don't know. I need to fix that mug up. But I met Colonel Shabaz because he was stationed at CENTCOM. We knew each other via Facebook and LinkedIn. I said, "Yo, you're here in town, man!" So we went out there and went at MacDill Air Force Base, got a chance to meet and got a real quick conversation. I tell you, his story is going to be so riveted. It is incredible. Unfortunately, we only got an hour. This guy could be on for more than that, an hour. He's been interviewed by Wall Street Journal several times. He's been on CNN. I mean, the guy's just all over the place. I'm just happy and I feel honored the fact that I could get a chance to get him on to talk to us. But first, I want you guys to see everybody there. I want to welcome Chaplain Colonel Khallid Shabaz tonight. He is a man of the hours as we celebrate. Thank you for your service, Black Patron. Thank you very much. Welcome, Colonel Shabaz.
Woo! How you doing? I'm always fired up, man. Thank you so much for inviting me out. This is my life's work. I just want to give my life and help people. Thank you so much for inviting me out.
Thanks for the inspiration. The way we're going to do this, we got this broken in like 3 different sections. We're going to be talking about his childhood. We're going to talk about his Army life. And then eventually we're going to talk about his family. And the reason why I do that, because I want people to understand that we are all human beings. We're not robots. We're not G.I. Joe. We are human beings that got to come home and we got to deal with stuff. And I know Colonel Shabaz was awfully touching that, but I want people to understand that we're not just out there like robots, like Terminator, and we ain't got no feelings and stuff. So I want to humanize them, and that's the third part for this thing, for this segment. But before I do that, I want to sit there and thank our sponsors. And our sponsors, I'll tell you right now, our sponsors is Phi Beta Sigma Gamma Eta Sigma, Go Mob. Now I know Colonel, I will come back at it, but that's okay. I want to make sure I got to ask. I want to thank the sponsors of the Gamma Eta Sigma Military Affairs Committee, St. Pete MWCP, and of course Veterans Council of Veterans for making sure that something like this happen that actually happened. So now, after we finish our sponsorship, Colonel Shabaz, the first thing I want to flip my slide here so we know what we're talking about at this particular point in time. This time we're going to talk about Colonel Shabaz's childhood. Sir, tell us the foundation, the bedrock of who you are today.
Well, I tell you, and thank you for the opportunity again. This is going to get a little emotional for me because, yeah. So anyway, my story starts at 10 years old, being molested by a family friend, and because of that molestation, he took a jovial child, an extrovert, a child who was happy all the time. And I became closed in. Special education in the 8th grade, failed the 9th grade, failed the 10th grade, and just when I was getting back on my feet, I failed the 12th grade. Was able to go to summer school and finish out my high school. One of the things that's great, that actually probably saved me in many ways, as you saw in the picture that you that you showed, I'm an enormous human being. 6'5", about 275. So I was allowed to go to college to play ball. But I was still struggling with the molestation. To be honest with you, Brother Tony, I didn't know whether I was a man or a woman because of the molestation. So I was drinking myself to sleep at night. And anybody who looked at me with a jaundiced eye, I got to be honest here. I know this is why you're here. I just beat them up. I overwhelmed them with my size because I thought they were looking at me because of the molestation. Well, that came to a head one night. Guys were tired of me beating on them. And I went into a club on campus, shot in the back, beat with a shovel, where I almost lost my life. Well, you would think after the recovery, a person would have some level of intelligence and straighten his life out, but no, I was still in this bad mindset because of molestation mixed with the dysfunctionality of the culture. And so I went back on campus, same party. And this is the importance of having good friends, Tony. My so-called friends didn't tell me not to hurt the kid. They gave me the means to hurt the kid. So they gave me a sawed-off shotgun and a 45, right? And so I was going to eliminate this kid. And, oh, man, God always sends somebody in the wilderness to help. And this guy said, he said, you're going to disappoint your mom, man. He said, you're going to disappoint your mom if you kill that kid. And so, my love for my mom has been always ever present. And so I decided not to kill him that night. And I hurt him really bad, which is not all good, but I preserved my life. I went to jail. I was expelled from school. I went down to Louisiana, and where I worked as a janitor / cashier. At that time, my girlfriend got pregnant, and there I decided to come to the United States Army. Still hadn't dealt with the molestation, still hadn't got any therapy. So again, I had some problems with authority. And from 1991 to 1992, I received 2 Article 15 chapter paperwork in hand. So they was pushing me out of the Army. And I was an hour away from suicide, brother. And this leader, this is the importance of really good leaders. This leader came down to me, even though everybody, thought I was a failure. He said to me, if you won't do it for yourself, why don't you do it for your wife and your children? And he said something to me that I think everybody on this line, I think is important. As a grown man, I had never heard anybody say these 4 words. And he said to me, I believe in you, right? And those words, honestly, changed my life. And I decided from that day, I didn't know how I was going to do it, I was going to change my life, and I was going to be somebody, and I was going to be a father and a good husband, and make something out of myself. And I, from that day till last year, 25 straight years, I've been in school trying to make myself out of a man. And that's where you see the 2 doctorate degrees and the 5 master's degrees.
Right, right.
So that's my story, brother.
Wow, there's a lot to unpack, and I I know we gotta get you a chance to get. I mean, the night, the breathing, because hey, I'm not, I mean, I understand coming out here and just talking about the trauma, and that's important. And what I want to get people who are watching this and stuff, sometimes the military can actually save your life.
Yes.
It can really it can turn and that guy I interviewed last week, McDade, same thing. So it sounds like, but not right away. It's not right away.
You need some help.
Roger that. So when you went to